Hey everyone, this is Kathy here. So for my program, I am dedicating it to people who want to have exercise in their life and who don't have the time. So mainly non-athletic college students who have 30 minutes in the morning or between classes or maybe right before bed or when they're studying and they need a little break. So this is for you and hopefully you guys enjoy. Okay, so we're gonna start off with some dynamic warm-up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna march in place, and when we're doing this, just make sure your knees are in 90-degree angles. And you could do this anywhere, anytime, and it's a great start to a great workout. So we're gonna do this. And then for regression, if you do have any injuries or anything that needs modifying, what we're gonna do is just have our knees lower, and it's maybe to a 45-degree angle, still warming up the hips, your core is engaged, so it's still working. If you need a progression, what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep doing the same thing, engage our core, we can bring our knees back up to 90-degree angles, and our arms extended up. Okay, so now we're gonna go into our core exercise. And for this, we're gonna have a bird dog as our baseline. So what we're gonna do is go into a quadruped position. Make sure our hands are under our shoulders, knees under hips, and our core engaged. And what we're gonna start doing is extend one arm out and extend one leg back. And then back to our starting position. And this entire time, just remember to have your core engaged. Now for a regression, all we're gonna do is extend the leg back, and we're gonna keep that arm down. And for our progression, what we're gonna do is extend that arm back out, that leg back out, and we're gonna add that crunch. Okay, so now we're moving on to our upper body portion of our workout. And for this one, we're gonna have a pull and a push exercise. So we're gonna start off with pull for now. So for this one, we're gonna do a bent over row. So what we're gonna do is start with our feet hips width apart, core engaged, hinge at the hip. And then what we're gonna do, and you can use any amount of weight you want for this. I personally have 6-pound weights in my hands right now. So what we're gonna do is start pulling our elbows up. Okay, core engaged. And then for our regression for this, what we're gonna do is have our feet shoulder width apart. And again, core engaged still, and pull up for your elbows to meet your sides. And then for progression of this, what we're gonna do is have a unilateral stance, and we're still pulling. Okay, so now we would be moving on to our push part of our workout, but if you're like me and have a shoulder injury that prevents you from doing that, we can do another pull exercise. So for this one, we're gonna do an X-band pull, and what we're gonna do is have 2 resistance bands, one each looped around each foot. What we're gonna do is cross them over, and we're gonna start with our baseline. So what we're gonna do is have our knees slightly bent, core engaged, and our elbows at our sides. And what we're gonna do is start pulling outwards. And then for our regression of this, what we're gonna do is put each band around our elbows, and again, do the same thing. And then for progression of this, what we're gonna do is put in our hands, extend our arms out, and pull. And our core is still engaged and knees slightly bent. Okay, so now for our lower part of our body. So for this, we're gonna have a hip dominant and a knee dominant exercise, and we're gonna start off with hip. So for the hip, we have a Romanian deadlift, and what we're gonna do is start with the kettlebell between our feet. We're gonna hinge at the hip, try to push the wall back with our butt, reach forward, and then as we bend forward, knees slightly bent, core engaged, we're gonna grab the kettlebell, and for our baseline, we're gonna rise up to the shin. Okay, and for our regression, what we're gonna do is only go down to the knee. And for a progression, we're gonna go back down to the floor and back up. And this entire time, we keep our core engaged. Okay, so now onto the knee dominant part of our lower body. We're gonna do a goblet squat. So for our baseline, we're gonna start with doing a regular squat, kettlebell in hand. at our chest level and close to our body, but not touching it. So what we're gonna do is engage the core, hinged at the hip, and start squatting down and up. And for a regression, if you have any knee problems or anything like that, just don't go as low. Maybe a 45-degree angle instead of 90. And for a progression of this, what we're gonna do is just extend our arms completely outward, and again, 90-degree angle squat. And the entire time, our core is engaged and we're breathing.